sunglasses on for day 62. We're almost at 160,000. Morning. Actually, like, happy Sunday morning. What's up, everybody? Yo, what is up there? Konzix? Dave? What up, Dave? Nemo, if you're there. How's it going this morning? Hope you're having a good Sunday. It is awesome weather out. Yesterday we had this crazy thing where the sun was shining through the vines. I don't remember what time it is. Maybe we'll try and aim the camera like that again if we can catch it. That was a cool glimpse of the sunrise yesterday. Let's check it out. So if you're new here, you haven't come by yet, let me show you the little drawing board we got here. Keeping track, 1 million strikes on a dummy in a year or less. And I'm gonna have to flip the camera around, obviously, because it's gonna need to be mirrored. We're on day 62, 156,000. Let me flip this around so we can read it a little better. There we go. And we're at 150 so far for this morning. We'll keep at it for a minute before we actually add it to the official count for the day. Just got off night shift. I should have drank some coffee before I left work, but hey, this is what we're at. A nice Sunday morning. The weather's great. Hitting the dummy 1 million times in a year or less. 200 hits for the morning so far. I should have drank some coffee before I left work. While it's free, you know what I mean? But I didn't. Try and get in a couple hours of some hits here this morning. Gonna be close to 160,000 here. Maybe we might even hit that today. My next fight is in 2 weekends from now. So not this weekend coming up, but the weekend after, down in Atlanta. Keeping my arms in shape so I can hit people with swords and armor. dummy keeps going downhill. Oh, who hit that like? Yo, Jose. Oh, the local sport. Is this actually the local Colombian Venezuelan sport? Hey, thanks for that like there, Jose, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that was a joke for what goes on down there. Oh, that's how I fight when I'm mad. I see what you're saying. I missed a comment, too. Let me scroll up and catch that real quick. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I thought that's what you meant. Yeah, Cody. Yeah, yesterday I spent more time talking, I think, than hitting the dummy in the end. It was a good stream yesterday morning. Thanks for a like. Specifically, oh, Jose, thanks for a like. And, oh, what's up, no one? No one. How's it going? It's been a couple weeks. Hitting the dummy again. Back to hitting the dummy at home. I think last time we talked, I was up at camp still, right? It was, yeah, it was. I believe it was second day up there. But yeah, we're back at home. Hitting the dummy at home. Great times when the weather's nice. You know, I used to actually stream out here a lot with no shirt, but TikTok was giving me some hassles about it, so back to wearing shirts. This weekend's been kind of like a more than just a casual look, I guess. Trying to wear some nicer shirts that I haven't worn forever. I just have too many shirts. I was like, you know what? If I stream in some of them, I'll feel like I'm getting some use out of them. Alright. That, everybody, is 500 hits so far. We're going to keep going before we write it down. We're going to have a huge number to write on the board. Felt like I got bit by a mosquito. I guess not. How about this? While we're here, let's give a little shout out to everybody who's just tuned in. What's up, no one? Aaron, Sean, Gene, Edix64, FD2, Doot, Jettison, Izzy, Steve, Dave, Wow, alright. Charlie, Big Chief, James, Tainted Drawings, Clyde. 630 hits so far this morning. Whew. It's actually a little humid out here. Pretty soon this shirt's going to be soaking wet. And why am I hitting the dummy a million times in a year or less? Because no one would fight me in a sword fight for a whole hour. Thank you for hitting the like button there. Paul. Hey, thanks for hitting the like button. So yeah, I had this whole cool idea, right? I fight in armor, fight other people in armor, and I was like, hey, who would fight me for like an hour straight? Everyone's like, that's stupid, or laughed at it, or it's like, no one would do that. So this is like my next best idea. Yesterday it was over 5,000. I need to hit like 2,700 something a day. Some days are more, some days are less. Right now we're actually behind. I'm only actually averaging 2,500 a day. But I had like 2 weeks of camp. Yeah, 2 weeks, and it's not always just like some of the sets we get all like this. Alright, there's 700 for this morning, but not all the sets. All the hits that I do would count for when I do this sword fighting sport. Like a hit like this, that hard would count. So yeah, nah. It is not how. So if you want to know something funny, my on Bumble, right? Dating profile is me in armor. One of my cage fight videos. I post out on my Bumble, and I don't have any problems staying single. I don't know. Like I just get that out of the way, so it solves the icebreaker question. Like, what do you like to do for fun? Well, you can see I have my I have one of my cage match and armor fights in my Bumble profile. Plus, almost like all my pictures are me in armor. I don't know. No problems there. Weird though, huh? I think we were on 720. I'm just going to start back over at 700. See, sometimes I start chatting and I forget. But we were on at least 700. We'll restart at 700. I think it's because I read out aloud the number 101 that threw me off. Yo! Dink, what up, Dink? How's it going today? This is our friend. Your classic, you know, is it usually for boxing? It's on the stand. I put a medieval shirt on. I actually put the shirt on to try and help breaking down from hitting it so much. And thanks for the like, by the way, while we're talking. You know, it's just a big old dummy here, back in my backyard. Thanks for hitting that like button there. Oh, and Clyde, thanks for follow. Just so you know, the next live stream fights are going to be 2 weekends from now. That's my next fight, down in Atlanta. We're going to start over at 700. I kind of lost track. I knew we were at least over 700. Yeah, I do some LARPing. I think it's fun. I'm tightening up the water cap on here. I don't know why it's loose. But anyway, yeah, I do a little bit of that. Most of the stuff I do is a full contact. Like, if you search the term boo hurt, or like I said nowadays, if you click on my avatar up here, I pinned some of my videos, my fights. I have a cage match fight on there, and one of the fights where we're fighting 5-on-5, like team stuff. LARPing's fun though too. Any sword sports fun, I think. They're not here. I have one sitting here just so you can see it. This is, and you really, you know, like punch, kick, throw people on the ground. Not sharp. This is a typical like long sword that you know, like this is my practice sword, so it's a little bit like you know, it's tarnished, whatever. But see, it's kind of, see, it's not a sharp blade. And my favorite, one of my favorite axes to hit others with is this one here. And yeah, you can see it has some, actually has some hearts in it. So they're Pittsburgh, PA. So our team, the team I fight on, it's although we're not super active, the only social media we really have is on Facebook. It's Pittsburgh Armored Combat. I hope that the live stream, the footage, that the video is not skipping around. There's a lot of lag yesterday. I don't know why. Did you? Oh, what part of PA, or like what area? Yeah, we can hit each other with axes. It's great. It's the best sport on earth. Midland. I don't know. Is Midland, okay, I don't know Midland. West, is that west? So I'm like on the western side of the state. Are you in, the west side, middle, north? Alright. Should I say, are you close to, Erie, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, Scranton, or Philly? Are you close to any of them? Lee D. I see you, Lee. Are you close to any of those cities? Oh, and Permain, Texas. There's one of the best teams is in Texas. If you look up sorry, look up Dallas Warlords. One of the best teams, armored fighting teams in the U.S. Oh, 30 from Pittsburgh. All right. Ah, yeah, right. I gotcha. Yeah, I'm like Pittsburgh area. Huh. Yeah, this is what we do. We're a new team. Oh. Well, heck yeah. All right. Well, you know what's up then. Which team is it? The new team. I've played disc golf in high school. I've not played it anywhere else. I thought it was fun. It's just that I didn't follow up with it. I did more as for a class, actually. Yeah. My school was really cool, I think, where we took, I had miniature golf for a class in high school. Disc golf was a class. Flag football. They had a lot of activities you could pick. So it wasn't just like gym. It was like, you're playing flag football the whole semester or whatever. You know what I mean? You're playing disc golf that whole, what is a semester that you call it? I don't even remember how long it is. Is it 8 weeks or 9 weeks, something like that, 11 weeks, whatever it is. Let's do this before I start forgetting. While we're chatting, because that's what will happen. We are at the first set. We'll just call it 7:30. It was more than that, but I'm losing track. That way I can chat at the same time. Yeah. Let me ask you. Do you have Facebook Messenger? Out of anything, Facebook Messenger. Because that's how, like, with our team, I'd be able to field questions. Or you can write me. Or you could, send me a message on here, too. But our team on Facebook is Pittsburgh Armored Combat. So I challenged, I made this challenge online for someone to sword fight me for an hour long straight. Just to see who would have the most points at the end. Thanks for hitting that like button. So we're on day 62. 156,000 hits total. 7:30 is where we just left off. While we're chatting, I'm gonna start losing track of how many hits I did on the dummy so far today. I'm trying to do 1 million in a year or less. I challenge anybody to fight me for an hour long, a long sword fight in armor. And most people are like, that's stupid, or no one would do it, or dumb idea. So I was like, all right, whatever. No one accepted the challenge. I was like, it's not like you're going to be fighting the whole time. You can, you're just in a field, no out of bounds, fight for an hour, bring a squire. You get like 2 5-minute timeouts each person, where you can say, all right, or we can take your helmet off, get a drink, chill out for a minute. So that's the total of the day so far, 7:30. So now we're starting back at 0. These don't count right here. But we're starting back at 0. And then when we get to the next number, we'll write that down. So once I start chatting, sometimes I'll forget what number we're on. So that's why it's good to have the whiteboard. There go the church bells. Must be 8. Oh, yeah. Oh. Wow. I forgot all about it till you asked, when you said something sneaky. So, the best thing I ever did, I was fighting, so the match, it was like, if you think like, MMA, except we can't do submissions, and things like that, because the problem is when you're fighting, a lot of people have, like, they'll have a helmet. Oh, hey, Adam. Is that Adam? Aiden, sorry. If you ever see me doing this, it's so I can read. When there's all these colors, sometimes like in the background, I can't read the names. I need one solid color behind it. So spin around attack. All right. Well, let me tell you, but the favorite thing I ever did. We're fighting. The guy grabbed my sword, like my sword arm. So what you're allowed to do, and he grabbed me like this. So now he can like punch me or whatever. So I was kind of like pushing off him, and I was stepping to the side as I pulled my sword out, and I was so close to here, I thought instantly, I was like, I'm gonna get behind him and jump on his back, and I just like literally got behind him. I jumped on his back and like smashed him into the ground like face first. All right, a good spin move. I don't really do spins at all, but we can try a couple here. I guess a lot of it's going to be about spotting. Maybe follow it up with one of those. Totally whiffed that one. Some people are good at spin attacks. Actually, there's a couple of people. Boaz, hey, how's it going? I know ya. A lot of times, I stick with the basic. Like I say, I'm a Lego character. My arm goes like this for the most part. It's really simple. I don't have to worry about too much. Try not to get my sword stuck on it. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I will. I'll watch that replay. Maybe we'll try a couple out, throughout the day here. Thanks for smashing the like button today. We'll see. Yeah, it wouldn't be bad. My friend Rafal does them all the time, and he's really good. And he hits them. Hits really hard. The reason I sort of don't do them, for one, I haven't practiced them to be like super good at them. The other thing too is when you're fighting. So in this sport, it's a time limit, right? And there's plenty of times when you're not just constantly hitting each other. So there's plenty of times where you can do a spin move. But if I'm going like this, say I missed or something like that, and I get hit twice, and I whiff, or I spin around and they hit me a couple times more than what I can do in one motion. But you're right. If I had it in my arsenal where I was comfortable doing it, it probably would be super fine for me to do them like when I'm actually in tournament. Yeah. All right. Hey, good talking to you. If you want, yeah, Pittsburgh Armored Combat's the group around here. I'm just looking to neighbors. They're always like, "What is this dude doing over here?" Probably now they know what we're doing. All right, we're at 100. Let's get some reps in here. Dummy's getting away. That should be 200. Then we go right down. Yo, John. Hey, we are 200. So when we're not chatting, it's a lot easier. I just realized we're at 200. I keep them marked down here. We did 730 before I started to forget because we're having a conversation. I was like, man, I'm gonna forget what number we're on. So I write them down the board. By the way, we're at 156,000 out of 1,000,000 on day 62. So yeah, and then during chat, I try and keep an S. If I'm talking while I'm hitting, I'm usually able to keep track up to a point, but it gets to be a little bit much sometimes. So I know right now we're at 200. These don't count. We're at 200, and I will keep going. And if we are talking, I'll try and keep a very good mental note of it. And if it starts to get too crazy where I can't remember, we write that set on the board. And sometimes, like, you know, I'll be a little bit off. See, I'm actually counting while we're doing it now. A good estimate. I try and do a little bit more because sometimes I might forget. That's 130, and I don't want to like come up short. So we're gonna have at the very end at least a couple more live streams where I'll do another like 10,000 or something, just in case I ever miscounted. I am. Alright, so that should be like 150 for sure. We did a little bit more than that. Not this weekend that we're in now. Not next weekend coming up. But the one after, at the end of the month, I'm fighting in Atlanta at Dragon Con. Here's something that happened. I actually broke my good tournament sword. It's not a, if you would know what I mean if I said a full tang, or where the whole blade comes through to the handle. So it's actually like a, I don't even know what you call it. So it's riveted into the grip, and I actually busted the bottom rivet, I think from hitting the dummy too many times. So I've been sticking to this plastic sword for it. This is the same shield I'll be, you can see it has some battle damage on it. But yeah, this is the shield I'll be using with a saber, fighting at Dragon Con. I will be live streaming it. Probably not when I'm fighting. I found it. Let me drink some water. I found that whenever I just set the camera up. Oh, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, this makes sure my arms are like never tired. And I had my last fight was like a month ago. No, I'm sorry. August 6th was my last fight. I keep forgetting that I fought like really recently. And then the one before that was like a month ago. And my arms weren't tired. It was great. I was like, wow, all these hits on the dummy, and I fought with the armor on, and I didn't get worn out. I was afraid I would. You know, I was doing this the day before, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, the thing is, whenever I live stream my fights, good question about the armor weight. When I live stream my fights, I set the camera up, and then it's kind of boring because I'm not talking, and people don't really tune in. You know, you have a fight, then there's like minutes of wait time, then the next fight. So, you know, and then I'm not interacting, so it's not as cool or fun. But my armor for fighting in teams, when you're fighting more than one person at a time, is 115 pounds with everything on. It's all steel. And my armor for dueling, though, is 29 pounds, which is amazing because it's titanium. And my armor for dueling is very... It doesn't protect me very well. But it's so light, and it's like I have nothing on. On August 6th, I don't even know if I have... Let's see. I'm standing back here so it sees I have pants on. If you see any yellow below the armpits, they're bruises. I don't know if you can see. They might be healed, but I was all bruised up from sword strikes under here and under here. Because my dueling armor is very light, but it's not protective. It's protective shoulders, arms. Here, no. But I can move around like nothing out there. Heck yeah, karma. First of all, good luck on your tourney. That's amazing. I'm gonna do this. See how I was saying? We're gonna start to forget. We're at 150. Remember I said 150, John, and we were kind of talking about that. So this is so now that we're talking, I won't start to think, oh, did I even write that down? Because I'll see, like, you know, like you said, Karma is saying, I'm fighting a great sword boffer. I was like, oh, and then like all the numbers will go out of my head. I love great swords. So for one, thanks, John. I don't lift weights. All sword fighting muscles here. I do abs. And back thing. I try to keep a good core. They're a little sore from yesterday, actually. But yeah, I will tell you what. One of the best duelists from this area. He was a is it you call it Daga here? Dago hair? I don't know how you say it, but I think it's a boffer league. And he came to practice, and that dude was so impressive. And he's a really good duelist. I fought him more than once in my life. Really, really good. I don't always beat him. Heck yeah. That's awesome. There's nothing like the morning waking up. I hope you're having a good morning, for one. There's nothing like waking up the morning. My routine is usually wake up. I don't know. I haven't been drinking caffeine, so I usually would get a coffee or something, and I usually don't eat too much, but I'll have like a little bit of something. I don't know what your routine is. Some people like to eat like a whole full meal for breakfast. If I'm fighting at like 10 a.m., 12 p.m., you know, a lot of times I just stick with something to drink. So like I was saying, now we're starting at 0 when we start hitting a dummy. And I'm using a plastic sword, if anyone just tuned in, because I broke my good tournament sword in the dummy. Yes! Yes! Heck yeah! Karma, that is awesome. See, yep. So good to get some warm-ups in there. I am in the SCA. I'm an SCA member. I don't do tons of events for it, but I am. Yeah, heck yeah. Oh, hey, so I've fought Greatsword a couple times. See, I have to put my glove up here so I can read the name. Is it Astasia? SCA member. I was at Pensick I have an SCA video uploading today, a Pensic video, related video. But the thing is, I only do a couple events. I do a couple local events, and I do Pensic. Let me tell you something. If you're still there, Karma, for a great sword, right? You know what, like, one of my favorite things is, and I even, I was even doing this as a little tutorial one day. So, I don't know, like, I fought with this steel greatsword. They were 13 pounds, right? And to start out, you know, with a greatsword, if you're starting from here, okay, it's great if you can get it moving. But I found that I would miss the first strike, so I could bring it around for the second one. So I would start out of range, and I would actually like miss, and then I'd have all that wind-up speed to throw into my shots. Not all of them. It's just like the first. Whenever I was like just when it would work. And I love pummeling with the greatsword too, because it has so much weight behind it. Just like straightforward is great. Yeah, well, we got this thing. All right, let's get a set with this. This is just some exercise, nothing fancy. And we can't poke and boo hurt, so that's one thing that you guys have so much more cooler things in SCA in the boffer fighting, because in boo hurt we're not allowed to stab. So there's never anything like this. Never any. No stabbing in boo hurt. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Is there a name? There's a name for something I can't remember. I wish I could remember. Oh, it's slipping my mind. Are you talking about like from an overhead stance? If, say this is your... Where, from an overhead stance... If they try and stab, you can, well... Oh, really? Is it Bolvar? Your Blade Master? Ah, yes! Oh, man. Awesome times. So we fought together at, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Fitness Expo like 3-4 years ago. And something else that's cool is a couple years ago, or I don't think it was this season, I think it was last season, I was doing no, it was like two years ago. I was in South Carolina, right? And I had one of the MMA fights down there, and I generally don't bring a corner, but Bolvar actually was my corner. Like volunteered time just to like be my corner. No, I'm sorry. It was for I think it was for longsword fights. But yeah, that's awesome. Haha. It's funny how we run into people who kind of know each other in a way. Through all the sword fighting stuff, somehow we're all connected. Yeah. So a lot of times I think it was longsword, because a lot of times what I do, you get a 30-second break, right? It goes for a minute, 30-second break, you go for a minute. Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, how about that? And you know what's really so weird stuff, right? I was recording at Pensic, this big SCA event. There's like 2,000 people out on the field. I'm walking around with the camera in between, in between the rounds, whatever you call it. And I just happened to come across, because I was telling people, they're like, what can you do? I was like, look, I was like, you can use spears, here's swords. And I just happened to like aim down, there's like this green helmet and a crossbow. And I was like, look, everybody, I was like, if you just want to shoot a crossbow, I was like, you can shoot archery, combat archery. And I was like, and that is a really cool helmet. And someone in chat was like, that's my husband's helmet. Like, of all the people in the world, someone was tuned in, and I happened just to zoom in on their helmet while they were in chat. Yeah, it's so cool though. I remember specifically his longsword, because generally what I do for my 30-second break, I go back to my corner and I just lean on my sword like this, and I just stare at my opponent. I don't care how tired I am. It's a mental thing. So when they turn around and see me standing there, they're like, "Oh man, this guy's ready to go." And so yeah, Boulevard was my corner that day. Didn't ask, you know, like we just know each other. We fought together in the past. One of the most awesome people I've met in this sword fighting sport. Oh yes, okay, cool. Yeah, I know Vicar. Well, how about that? And that's one of the first people that I saw at Pensick, actually. Hey, Huntinator! Thank you for hitting the like button. And see, I'm remembering we're on 75 here while we're talking. Turn that like button, and see, we'll do a couple extra, so that'll be 100. That's true. Nice person. Hey, nice person. I edited that video. It's not for today, but for tomorrow. If you want to know, I'm gonna upload that thing that you're saying about the wasp nest. I actually edited that video last night. It'll be fun. I don't know if people even watch it, but anyway, I like to upload highlights like that. Oh my god, I can imagine. Yeah. Yeah. The wasp nest incident. That was so helpful too. Yeah, Vicar was fighting at one of the first longsword pro fight where you can punch, kick, and throw people on the ground. It was crazy, and they were just as tall. They're both the same height. I forget who he was fighting. It's been so long. That was like one of the coolest sword fights I ever saw. Oh, hey, a nice person. Thanks for hitting the like button. Sorry. Water. Sometimes when I'm talking and my mouth gets dry, I don't know. It's like this weather. You think it's so humid, the inside of my mouth would just be coated with humidity from this air. I lost the cap to my one really cool bottle, so I can't fill it up. I can, but well, we're down to one aluminum bottle for now. And I hit this thing about as hard as it would count for Nboo hurt. You know, this is as hard. A hit this hard would count for the judges. Like I said, sometimes you get a little more crazy. But, you know, I just worked a 12-hour shift overnight. So for me, it's actually like, it's like 8 p.m. I'm on, like, New York City time. I'll get to chat in 1 second. We were talking about that, and you know, I actually looked at that too. Was that your comment about the Filipino martial arts? I looked it up, and I actually came across some funny Indian martial art videos. Just meme videos. I'm sure they might have some really cool martial arts in India, but it was like someone hanging from a pole, and someone taking boxing gloves and punching them in the groin. And then the ones, you know, where the guy kind of stares at you, and the guys come up and they go, ugh, and fall down like bullshito. But yeah, I looked at the Filipino martial arts stuff too. Yeah. Oh, did we talk about? Did someone ask about? Did you ask about price? Yeah, the armor price sucks. I got a tooth knocked out while I was saving up for my first set of armor, because I was using a pair of loner armor, and the helmet didn't fit very good. So, I actually took a shield punch to the face, and the inside of the helmet, I must have been like this, or something. I don't know. Something knocked my tooth out. That was like $780 out of the armor fund. Yeah, my first set of armor, $2,400. Which today, armor today though, it's a lot. You can get armor a lot cheaper, and there's so much more used stuff out there now too. You can piece together a whole set of armor if you wanted to. And then my titanium kit was a lot more. Like but I was working tons of overtime so I could afford it. I was so lucky that overtime happened at that time. My really light armor is titanium. I could not fight at this level without it. I'm 46. I need some advantages. My dueling kit, like I was saying, weighs like 29 pounds without the helmet. So yeah, if I can move around a little better, I need to. Plus it's easier on my joints. That 115-pound armor that I have is like... I start sweating before I'm even fighting. Oh. So do you know Rich Ellswick? Or Boris Tuman? I love those guys. Both from Detroit. Get in the chat in 1 second. Just finishing the set so I can round it off in my head. How about that spin? The spin attack. Yeah. Ba-boom. I gotta watch this. I'm like off balance when I do those anyway. Oh, you don't? Well, I just wonder. They're from Detroit Fight Club. I just want to know, because I know Richard does some, he used to do SCA. I wouldn't be surprised if he's also like in the buffer fighting. Hey! Oh! Yo, what's up, Briar? Ooh, it's not up yet there. The sun yesterday was shining through the vines behind me in this really crazy way. Yeah, I just got off work though. So it's actually like nighttime for me in a way. It's actually 8:27 p.m. for me. After working a night shift. Briar, what up? Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a screenshot of that again. Nice person. I did actually not look at Filipino martial arts with swords. I was just thinking you're talking about the footwork and stuff, because we were talking about that when we were going over kind of footwork and how we're moving. I was relating that to the footwork, because I was talking about how I usually like hop around. I don't do this. I don't step. I usually hop and things like that. I will look that up. Defensive things would be great. Uh-oh. We lost that comment in the chat. Hang on. Yes. Briar, that's great. You know what? Out here, we're just talking about... well, let me give a shout out to everybody who's here. Nice person. Oh, Huntinator's still here. Briar, Paul, Aaron. All right. I guess he left. But Karma, who is just in here, I would say, should give him a shout out. But anyway, he's fighting a great sword tournament today. That's awesome. Well, I'm doing my usual whatever which isn't, it's like exercise. And you got something going on, practice, which is great. Karma's going to fight in the Great Sword Tournament today, which is great. Sunday's the day today, huh? I gotta scroll up. Hold on. I'm leaving the chat. I need to scroll up so it'll... There we go. A sword in each hand. Oh. One of my favorite fights is a two-handed dual-wielding fight. Nice, nice. Yes, Karma. Yeah. I didn't show you in the who was tuned in. Yeah, Karma. Yep. There we go. Karma's gonna be winning. Briar's gonna have the best awesome practice. I'm gonna hit 5,000 hits. That'd be like, that's my accomplishment for today. Not as cool as y'all. Chat has cooler stuff than me going on, that's for sure. What's up? Fudge My Face has joined. Dave the Sword Guy. I was just watching your thing. You know I live off of 79, Dave. Just up more north than you. If Dave is there. A lot of times, like I say, people log into TikTok for the day, and it just throws them into the broadcast. So they probably just open up TikTok and it's like, whoop. We're on 300. Yes, awesome. Hey, have an awesome practice. Briar, it was good talking with you. And in case Karma's not reading, and Briar is saying Karma, there you go, cool. I love it. Chat is having a great day. I'm just hitting a dummy. But my next fight's in 2 weeks, something like that. 2 weeks from today. I don't know which day I'm fighting yet. A lot of times I don't know till like a couple days before. Oh, I can tell you, Hunter. Oh man, all right. Rattan fighting sticks originally were vines that were heated and then straightened. I didn't know that. If you heat the vines, yeah, and then you can straighten them. That okay, I can see it making sense. Hunter, I'm gonna tell you how you get into this sport. Oh, true, yeah. Yeah, it's all about. There's a whole German Landesknecht outfit website. I think it's called Dye and Style. They have the best looking outfits. So when the sap is cooked, it forms hard glue. Oh, I see what you're saying. Huntinator, so if you wanted to join, the best thing to do is you look up online. I used to say I wouldn't type this as a domain name, just do the search. Search the word Night Finder, and one of the first links, if not the first link, would show an interactive map of all the teams near you. And that's not all the teams, but that's like a good majority of teams. And you can, if anything, you want to get into it, don't ever buy anything before you talk to someone who does this. It's expensive. You don't want to buy the wrong stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there people buy. One of my friends, like 5 years ago, bought a whole set of armor, and he couldn't use it. The metal was too thin. You could tell in the video. You know, he bought a whole set of armor, and it was wrong. So that would be the first thing, right? Make sure if you can find a team near you. I'm gonna maybe even try and make a stick or buy one. Yeah, that's the first step. If you use Facebook, the biggest community is Armored Combat Sports on Facebook. Yeah, first thing, if you can get in touch with a team, if you don't find one, you can always DM me too. I can probably help you out if you wanted to get into it. Oh yeah? I would love to get... I have a little bit of some Boo Hurt Foam stuff. I'd love to get some official things that aren't homemade. Yeah, sorry, it took me a minute to read that. I was reading both comments at the same time. What is that about? What? Wedding style? Is that like is that the same thing we're talking about? The German thing? I can't remember the name of it. I remember their logo was something like. Yeah, okay. I just remember their motto was something like "Die in Style" or something like that. It's kind of expensive, and I can vouch for. I finally saw someone who had an outfit made by them, and it's really high quality. It's kind of like machine, like a factory, because it's kind of like an assembly line. How they it's a very modern stitching where they attach parts, but the look and everything's like freaking legit historic. And you don't even, if you even wanted to get something cheaper to get in armor and fight, if you like, you can make. Always spend your money on a helmet and your hand protection. My two biggest recommendations: helmet, hand protection. If you do other sword fighting sports like SCA or something, you can make the rest of your armor, like at home, out of like plastic barrels and things, if you have something to cover it with. Granted, it's a different type of sword combat, but still. Alright, I'm pretty sure I know we're over 3:30 because I did lose track of it. I purposely remembered, though, before this last little conversation, that we're at 3:30. And like I was saying, I basically do the same attacks all the time. I don't waste time much going down. I can't hit the dummy low. Leg hits like that, but I never do anything fancy like up. It's all this way, straight down, side. I almost never swing that way. Well, my heavy. Are you talking about heavy hemogloves like the plastic kind? Do you want to see something? Let me show you mine. Come with me. Let me write this set down. We did 400. Or they're right inside the door. You don't have to come with me. I'll grab them. It'll be quicker than me unhooking the camera. I'll show you my hemogloves. Alright, so if you mean like plastic like this, I cannot remember who made these though. I don't know if I'd ever be able to find out. Like, I got these in a group buy. Yeah, so these are like some plastic, like these right here. The last one kind of hurt because it slipped in and hit under my thumb, which wouldn't usually happen, but you know what I mean? I'm kind of scared to hit my own hand, even though I know it's not really hurting. Plastic hemogloves. I use these to fight against with steel. You know what I mean? Like, well, yeah, we know Hema's steel. Definitely, I think they would. The issue, I'm gonna tell you right now, is that if you're so these have a little bit of flex, but check this out, right? Like, okay, if I'm doing this a whole lot, like a lot of movements like this, I don't know. And if you're using if you're using a sword like a great sword, right, where you need a lot more a lot more range of motion. Let's hold it this way. Let's hold it. Let's say we have a longer handle, like a great sword handle. Okay, like if I'm coming around like this, these things are a little forgiving because they kind of have a hinge, but at the same time, they are a little bit more. From my experience with hockey gloves, I haven't fought in hockey gloves a whole lot, but they do have a little bit of some times when you'll bottom out because I can't bend my wrist as far. It just kind of jams on the glove. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes if you get hit, it whacks the plastic into my bone, which sucks. So you want to get some extra padding. Pittsburgh Armored Combat Close. Oh, is it? Yes. Well, that's us. Pittsburgh Armored Combat. The best way. So we're talking. So we can always talk on here too. If you want to send me a message on here. The other thing on Facebook, Facebook Messenger. If you message the team, I'll make sure I log in there later. I'll make sure I log in tonight when I have to wake up, go back to work tonight. But I will check in there tonight. If anyone wanted to send a message to Pittsburgh's team, I will tell you though. There's a couple teams around Pittsburgh. Yeah, isn't it? Bellegarth out that way also. So here's the problem we have. There's on the official team right now. There's just 3 of us. We had a couple other people that over the years that just quit for different reasons. One because he got his fun out of it. He actually sold his armor to somebody else. So somebody got a good deal on armor. He fought with us for like 2 years. Another guy had an alcohol problem that got the better of him, and he doesn't fight anymore. And then there were 4 other people, but now they started a team north of Pittsburgh, and they do things up there too, which is cool for them. So there's 3 of us on the Pittsburgh team, like officially. 2 of them fight on other teams, and I just do duels. But we are the team, and it'd be cool, like, you know, like I'm sure. If we got together, like have a day or something, like sometimes we'll do a day in the park while there's still some nice weather out to bring out armor and stuff, or I could even do that, you know what I mean? Set up a group. Hey, Chase, what's up? Awesome content creator down there. Chase the Knight, anybody? We should have a day in the park again where we actually bring out armor and things like a show and tell. We actually used to go fight up at Shenley Park in Pittsburgh. And the funny thing was, it was always a day when they had a kids' soccer game, and all the kids would just like love the armor, and we'd be a huge distraction. I would just boffer fight for for fun, like too, not to be the competitive level, but just to do it. Yeah, there's Ohio. There's Akron, Ohio. Akron Hedge Knights. One of probably the biggest teams in the whole country is Cincinnati, Ohio. They fill out 3 whole teams. They actually have like Cincinnati Barbarians team A, B, and I believe C, and they have their main group. So that's so if you're really good, you get on the main team. Everybody else fills out the other ones. So there's a Barbarians Team A or whatever, and there's the Barbarians Shield Wall, which is like the next team, And it'll be funny because you'll have more than, I think, one tournament there are 3 Cincinnati Barbarian teams. They just have that many people. And I'm talking about the team fighting stuff, where it's like 5-on-5, 10-on-10. You do, yes. You can use pretty much swords, axes, maces. There's no like morning stars or flails. If it's like a longer thing like a halberd, it can't be a, so there's no stabbing in Boohurt, so it can't be a spear, because spears are basically used for thrusting. However, you can use spear tips. I don't know why, because the rules specifically say you can't. But anyway, there's no poking, you know what I mean? So it has to be yeah, you can use longsword for sure. I wouldn't recommend Akron. Yep, Akron. Look up Akron Hedge Knights if you wanted to. And my friend Craig, who heads that team, was the guy who he did some kind of foam. I think he did some kind of foam fighting, but he was really good. Craig, he's like the captain out there of Akron. Really good guy, really skilled. Yeah, a good strategy for someone with a bow. Yeah, like here, like I have. I was saying earlier, I don't remember who all was here earlier. I just had this sitting out here, but this is my favorite axe. You know, you can hit people with an axe. See, it's not sharp. It's got kind of a thick piece of metal shaped like an axe, and you can hit people with it. My favorite thing. Which direction are you coming from to Pittsburgh? Is Pittsburgh like north of you or east or what? You know what I mean? But yeah, like, so my favorite thing on the team fights is an axe, a two-handed axe. My teammate Chris, his favorite thing is a one-handed axe, because it's great because you can hook shields and then punch someone in the face with your shield. You can use a longsword for sure. There's longsword duels. I wouldn't specifically recommend a longsword though if you're out just fighting like in the team stuff, because swords like this don't really do a whole lot. If you're trying to drop somebody, to win the team fights, you have to get the other team on the ground. Throw them into the ground. West from me, okay. There was a team in Mannheim, PA, but there's only one guy out there, so it'd probably be better to head out this way. But if you know where Mannheim, PA is, I could maybe get you in touch with that guy. Yeah, people don't really use them. There's a couple people that use something like a claymore. One other thing too, the swords are supposed to match the region of your armor. There's someone actually that has an executioner sword, which is pretty cool, and that doesn't really match any armor, I don't think specifically, does it? It's just like a big rectangle piece of metal. The executioner sword was just a big flat end on it, you know. So I would love to use one of those Scottish swords with the basket hilt, but it doesn't match my armor. There are some people that use great swords. The thing is, when you're fighting like in the team stuff, if you have something like this, see these are the good live streams. We're talking more than hitting the dummy. So just pretend that we're out here and this is our opponent, right? It's so much easier to, like, you know, you can be hitting somebody and then if you're gonna go for like a grapple and you can get this behind them, you can't do this with a greatsword because they don't allow you to grab the blade. Even if it was like a Zweihander that has like the actual like blade grip area, like you're sort of stuck. Where an axe like this, you know, you can lock somebody up and or use it to try and help grapple. A greatsword, you can't grab the blade, so you're at a disadvantage. The other thing is that a lot of times, a lot of the greatswords, because they're weight specific, and you can't have like a 15-pound sword out there, which could actually like really make someone feel it. So axes, just because like it's so much more tip heavy, and you get all that force out of here like this. A great sword in this sport is usually a little too light on the tip. You're at a disadvantage with the grappling, and it's not the most optimal thing to put people on the ground for pain compliance. But there are a lot of people that use these two-handed choppers. There's not a lot, but it's just like a two-handed, it's like a falchion. It's just like a giant falchion. There are people that use them. There's a guy from Bastion. It's so funny. He has like this old school helmet, the flat top helmet, and I just love watching him because he just chops and chops. Yeah, like, yeah, and like I'm saying, don't ever buy anything just to start. Just don't think well, you could buy, like, if you wanted to buy a sword or something just so you have something to play around with, but it might not also qualify for the sport. There's a lot of stuff, like, you just always make sure you talk to somebody who does the sport before you actually go buying things, because there's people that sell helmets, armor, like it's Boohurt armor, but it's actually not. They just take advantage of people using that name. Falchion. I'm like, I hope I'm saying it right. I've been saying it that way forever. And like when people say riposte, my fencing instructor always called it a riposte, and I always said it that way. And I don't know which is right, but a two-handed falchion. Falchion. Oh, okay, Carefree with the... Okay. What up, Carefree? Falchion. I always say falchion. There's a guy who just goes crazy out there with one. I love watching him. I missed something there about that. The padding, the grapple. Armor match. That's what it was, that armor match. Yeah, it sucks with the funds, but my first set of armor is 6 years old now, and I've only had to replace one little plate on it. A good set of armor will last you forever, so divide like 2,400 by 6, and that's where we're at with the armor. As long as you can like do some maintenance, like some proper maintenance, keep it in good repair. Yeah, that's the sound it makes when it kills. So, I forgot the question I was going to answer. Yo. It was about... half padding, falchion. Jeez, what was the comment? I was just going to say something about it. Oh, match the armor. Yeah. So, there's actually a specific rule where your armor and weapons are supposed to match. In Boohurt International, at least, the region. So, say you have an Eastern style armor, you shouldn't be out there with like an arming sword. You should have like a saber or something, right? Boohurt International, I believe, that's the league I fight in mainly. And I think what they do is they say, it's a certain time period, like 13th to 16th century, and it's like Japan, China, Korea, Iraq, Turkey are all like regions, for example. So you couldn't just be walking around with like, you can't have like a Turkish helmet on like a Western European armor. You know what I mean? Like the weapons are supposed to match. Like honestly, sometimes they're a little bit overboard. One of my teammates showed up with this, we call it like a chopper. It's just like it's like basically is like a farming tool. It's one piece of metal. You might have seen one before. It's like a rectangle, and it has a little bit of a twist, like a hand guard. It's about that long, and the referee, the marshal, said he couldn't use it because it was not documented for his region of his armor. And he was like, what? And so he seriously, like, his weapon that he brought, he couldn't use it with that armor. So they can be kind of picky about that. But technically, your armor is supposed to match your weapon style. Now, since a lot of the Eastern things, like a Mongolian armor, for example, doesn't have very well documented leg armor. So you're allowed to wear any kind of leg armor you want as long as you cover it. So I actually wear for my Mongolian themed armor, I actually wear my European leggings underneath of baggy pants. And that's how I get away with it. So I can wear my I can wear my European leg armor on 2 sets of armor. It's just, and that should be over 100 because we left off on 50. But I actually wear, yeah, as long as I cover it. You know what I mean? So they can be picky about that. Yeah, it does. It's supposed to be, you know, if you have armor from Iraq, you shouldn't be running around with like a sugar loaf. It's mainly like helmets and things need to match, and they actually are really even crazier where it has to be with like they're trying to narrow it down to like a 30-year period. Here's a great example. I came with a round shield to a tournament, and the guy told me I couldn't use it because I painted it like I had painted it Viking. I was like, what are you talking about? I drove 10 hours to this event in South Carolina. I brought my round shield. I drew up like a plus sign. I drew green, green. White, white. Right? I showed up to the event. What are garb gates? Yeah. You get inspected. They check out your armor. They want to make sure there's no rust on it even, you know. So I had a round shield. I drew like a green and green, white, white, right? So I get there and he's like, you can't use that shield. I was like, why? He's like, that's Viking. I was like, what do you mean it's a Viking? He's like, that's a Viking pattern. I was like, what do you mean Viking pattern? I was like, I drew a plus sign on it and I colored 2 opposite parts green. And I was like, you mean like no one on Earth back in the medieval days would have taken the shield and drawn a straight line down it, a straight line across, and made a color like that? He's like, no. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And they're like, well, show me the documentation. And I don't have any documentation. Yeah, right? So, what he did was, he said, because we get along, he's like, I will let you use it. He's like, you drove 10 hours to fight here. He's like, I will let you use it. And I was like, I thank you. I was like, thank you. I was like, thank you so much. And I was like, but just out of respect, I was like, just to show you how much I appreciate you allowing me to use it, I will go buy paint, and I will paint the whole thing green before tomorrow. And that's what I did. So he was nice. He was going to let me use it. But then I was like, Larry, I will paint the whole thing green just for you. And I went to like Joanne Fabrics or something, and I bought some green paint. Yeah. You know, like, I thought it was a cool shield. You play something like For Honor, they got a checkered pattern. Like the Knights, the European Knights, it's like, you know, a checkerboard pattern. It's like 2 different colors. Nope. No one back in history ever drew a plus sign and colored it like that on a shield, apparently, unless you're a Viking. Just so you know, you gotta be really careful when you're plotting out your whole. That's what I'm saying. Don't just buy stuff. Always talk to somebody with experience, because you'll find things where there's an issue. My Mongolian helmet is now banned because it has a brim. They're like, they didn't have brims like that. I was like, what the heck? Yes, Warden. Nice. Mine was always, is it Lawbringer? Lawbringer? I always wanted a helmet like his. So, yeah. So you're telling me, and even the video game people that designed those characters, what? So they just made all that checker pattern up? You know? Okay, no one on Earth in the medieval days ever wore that pattern. And you know what's kind of funny is I can't find any manuscripts of a shield like that. So in a way, I can't prove that, hey, this is not Viking. Yeah, right? Oh yeah. I haven't played that game for so long, but my Lawbringer was like my favorite, and I had invested so much into that character. The reason I even quit playing that game is because people would start playing and then they'd quit. Then you're just fighting on a whole team of bots. And that was like back in the day. That was like a long time ago. But I was pretty good at that game at one time. I just hated that, you know. People would quit, and then you just lose. You wouldn't even be losing, and people would leave. I didn't get it. There's like no penalty for quitting. But as you can see, I mean, this is how hard, this is my buckler. Like, it's all crushed in from getting hit. You know, so these hits are kind of hard sometimes. Project, is it ethos or ethos? This is going to be one of those falchion things. Is it ethos or ethos? Oh, yeah? What? Oh. That sounds pretty cool there. You know what sucks about it being Sunday? Is that there's like nothing open around here. Sometimes in the mornings after doing this, I go to the hot dog shop and they're not open on Sunday. Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. Oh, I'm just thinking of the possibilities. If it's like GTA Medieval, that's freaking great. Yeah, like, so I don't know. Like, you just gotta be careful. The best thing, if you want to just check out something, I'll tell you right now, because they sell a total kit of armor that would pass. If you look up Boohurt Tech or Medieval Extreme, two sites that sell full sets of armor. Thank you for hitting that like button. They sell it exactly everything that would pass. Just so you can get an idea. The prices, you know, I don't know. Plus you got kind of see what the prices are. The thing is, like, there's other armors out there. I just don't really trust ordering things from Ukraine right now because, of course, that whole situation over there. You never know what could happen. Like, things are cool right now with getting things. I've actually got a sword made in Ukraine like 2 months ago. But armor time, sometimes, you know, you pay for armor and it's like a 6-month wait time. Freaking Tin Man Knight was here yesterday. He has armor that's been taken forever. They're almost done with it, you know. But when you're waiting like 6 months, what if in 6 months something happens and something crazy in Ukraine happened? The best armors are in Ukraine, though, like, no joke. But if you want to check it out, Boohurt Tech, Medieval Extreme. Oh yeah. Oh, that's, yeah. So that might give you yeah, plus tariffs and things. Oh, nice about the Gambus. Yeah, I got my Gambus in from there. Helmet, yeah, 5 to 6 to 7 month lead time, which is crazy. Well, I mean, maybe it's probably not crazy. They're making this with hammers and stuff. They use grinders and things. They're actually banging out metal armor. Yes. Oh, and Paul hit the Pud. Oh, Pud again. If it's the same Pud, what's up again? How's it going today? Thanks for that like button. Yeah, so you know what happens in 6 months if the situation over there changes a whole lot, and then now you don't get your armor, or something gets like, God forbid, something gets bombed over there. The guy who made my first set of armor, his workshop got bombed in the first month of the invasion. Like, it was crazy. He posted on Facebook. This is like years after I've had my armor, you know what I mean? But his whole workshop was like destroyed, literally, with the war. But he was more eastern in the country, though, you know what I mean? Get in the chat in 1 minute. Actually, we'll just call it right there. We're gonna write this down here. Yeah, so you never know. But if you wanted to just gauge what it would cost, obviously, those two sites are probably some of the most well set up sites. If you're ever just looking at armor sites, they're probably the two best set up websites and easiest to order from. And what you'd usually do is you'll want to get like the gambeson, you know, like Karma was saying, like you get your gambeson, get all the stuff you're wearing underneath first. Then you get measured. You get everything that's going underneath. Get all your measurements. So take lengths, circumferences, width, shoulder widths, all this stuff. They get all kinds of measurements, like 50-some measurements, and then they make it so like it fits like a freaking suit that you'd wear to a tuxedo you got fitted for a wedding. Better than a tuxedo you get fitted for a wedding. Yes! That is, yep. Hey, yo, what's up, Jeff? Yo, Jeff. Oh, let me drink some water. We're over 1,000 hits for today. Stream until like probably 10. We got at least another hour. As long as we hit 2,700, I'm happy. I'm actually behind. Thanks for hitting that like button. Yeah, right? Yeah. It's great. So you never know. I don't know if I've watched updates on that war almost every day. Although I took a couple months off, but almost every day for like over 2 years straight. Like just updates on the front lines and stuff. Like what happens? Russia. That's what they do. They bomb ahead and then they move forward, just like meat waves. And yeah. So what happens if they decide to just like, hey, your blacksmith is under attack, or your blacksmith goes to war? There's been boo-hurt people in the community that have died over there. Oh, well, karma. Let's get some hits in while we're talking then. Thank you for smashing that like button. The dogs are out next door. I always am like trying to protect my head with my buckler. I've got knocked out by getting hit in the head, the side of the head. If I'm just doing left and right, so I don't care so much. Whoa, I missed. Not that time. Yo, oh man. Yeah, like Wayo man. Jeez, 3.5K. Good morning. Yo, what's up, old boy? Like I said, if you ever see me, I'm making sure I can read your name. Yeah. There's nothing. Oh wait, you don't do headshots. I see what you're saying. Aha. Yeah, I can see how it'd be hard. That's like in the SCA. There's no targeting below the knee. So sword and shield in SCA is like so hard to beat for me. And not ending up in binds. Have you ever used have you ever like played around with 2 sharp swords with somebody? Or I should say, have you ever like actually done like a real bind, like in a HEMA class, or just have 2 people with sharp swords and try it? It's pretty crazy. Like you might know, it's no joke. You lock swords and they're literally like stuck together. Keep an eye in chat. The dogs next door are going crazy. Yep. Yeah, and exactly. Yeah, it's so much different when you actually play around with sharps. How just crazy it is that swords stick together, and the things you can do to try and like get out of the bind. I'm in a bind. Thumb the blade real quick. Slide up it or something. You know, you get like who. Yeah, who's gonna win the exchange? Whenever, depending on like, hey, I'm on my strong part, you're on your weak part, you know, in a bind. Thanks for smashing that like button too, by the way. I did it, the last time that we did sharp swords was with my daughter, just playing around. I think one day I might have a thing on here. I was thinking about that the other day, like to have a day on here where we're like cutting, like instead of hitting a dummy, like cut some water bottles or pool noodles or something. So you bounce, when you're talking about your bounce, you're talking about like bounce, yo, Aziz. You're talking about you bounce off the people or swords off each other? Yo, hey. Speaking of swords, Aziz is a blacksmith. Bounce off each other. But you can attack somebody's sword. Like, can you smack their sword with yours on purpose? Oh yeah. All right. Yo, hey, thanks for that like button. So, what in Boohurt? One thing from HEMA that I love that translates is like I don't know if you know what like a shield how is. Whenever you swing, but you're not swinging at them because there's swords out here, but you swing. Ow! I just crushed my finger in my grip when I did that. But you actually hit their sword out of the way, and you can't poke in Boohurt. But I kind of have a little bit of an altered version where I love just smacking someone's sword out of the way. And coming around like that for the first hit, like my opening. I'm not even breaking out the long sword today. I'm just not in a long sword mood yesterday or today. Tomorrow, I will most likely have armor on, depending on what my plans are. I was supposed to go out like on a date tomorrow. I don't know what's happening with that. If I don't go on the date, I will be in armor. Yeah, it'll be like true night. Now I shouldn't say all armor. I can't put my chest plate on by myself, so it'll be everything but the chest. That's what sucks. I can't put my armor on by myself. Sometimes you'll need people to put your armor on for you. At least all of it. You know what I mean? Let me get this water here. Don't wanna get too dehydrated. So I would have at least, you know, most of my armor on the tomorrow, and it'll be late, and soon it'll be later in the day too, because I'll probably come home from work and take a nap. What'll happen is, if I'm not going on a date, I'll have time to put the armor on and hang out. If I am going on a date, then I will be just getting on for like an hour and getting some hits in to get hits in and close. That way I can just, you know, take a shower and get on my way. I'm not going to know till later today though about that, so. Thank you all for just smashing the like button. Oh my God, it's like 7K. One of my friends who comes on here, Lord Salmon, right? He does gaming stuff. One time there were just 3 of us watching his stream, and it was like an 8-hour stream for live broadcast. But we had him over 100,000 likes. It was so funny. The set continues here. Keep an eye on chat. The best part of streaming this summer was whenever I had strawberries growing in the garden, and I could come out and hit the dummy and grab some strawberries, but those are long gone. You know what I haven't done? Left-handed. I need to get some left-handed shots in here. I can't tell if the dogs are barking at me or not. Fake half spin. Don't commit. Come back to your front. That would be. I would not expect that the first time that ever happened to me. After it happens to me at least once, could be in the back of my head. Boo the Hurt, what up? Yo. That would be, yeah, totally unexpected. That is a great idea. I mean, I'm using a sword here and not I'm just thinking it out, but yeah. Do you spot a lot? So I used to yo, what's up? Morning. The basic idea. I used to ballroom dance, and I know a lot of times when you're dancing, because whenever you spin and stuff, you're always like, you know, like the last thing that turns my head. The first thing is like my head focusing back where I'm going. Da, 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 do do do, spin around. Da 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 da, do do do. So do you use a lot of spotting when you're doing spins? Oh God, I gotta write that set down. See, I'm gonna talk and forget. Hold on. I can't tell if the dogs are barking at me or not. I don't think they are. We're 1, 2. We're almost over 2,000. That's good. If we get a good goal today of 3,000, that'd be perfect. 3,000, more than that would be great. anything close to that is fine. As long as we get over 2,700, I'm actually behind. I'm behind on the average. If you add up 150, if you divide 156,000 by 62, we're actually we would finish this in 390 days or something like that. Which would not qualify for 1 million hits in a year or less. Just send it. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, aim high. Oh, right. Yeah, like I remember back in days, somebody used to tell me when you're hitting the boxing dummy to you punch higher, because whenever you're out there, you're actually going to be punching lower. I'm going to try something. I'm going to bring this a little closer. If I wore my glasses, I could probably see it from over there. If I did this where I can kind of see a little better. Yeah, it was something with the sun was kind of hitting the screen. I can read it a little better now. Somehow. Thanks for smashing that like button. What's up there, Moss, if you're there? Oh, I said I was going to do some left-handed. Let's do some left-handed work. I've fought left-handed before. So one time I was fighting in a buckler fight, and in the very first round, I got my knuckles smashed so bad on my right hand, and I fought left-handed the rest of the day just to do it. It wasn't for anything like crazy. It wasn't like a big tournament, nothing really to win or lose. It was like for fun. So, yeah. Gotta always make sure you get some left-handed practice in, right? We're gonna have to do another set of that with the left hand later. Wow. Test your shots. As in, are you talking about? Yo, oh, boo the hurt. Thanks for liking the live. We're crazy over 10,000. Oh, crazy stuff. Thank you, everybody, for that. When you're saying you like to test your shots, you're saying, like, you're talking about as you're fighting in practice. Yo, what's up? And, Hell's Night, what up? Hey. Oh. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Copy that. Gotcha. Oh, some of my favorite things, just a stomp. Go like that and see what they do. Yeah. My friend used to call it, oh God, it's some kind of loop, some psychological thing. you interrupt their loop. Oh, what is it called? Anyway, yeah, psychological games. There's things like besides just that. Yeah, oh, what's it called? But anyway, you do stuff like that because in their mind, whether it's just an instinctual thing or they're thinking about things, they're going through their mind what they're going to do, and when you do something, it resets the loop. If you don't naturally just react to a feint, then if you do something, your whole body resets before, and you actually like have a longer time before you throw your next strike or something like that. Does that make sense? It was some kind of, I forgot the freaking name was. It's some psychological term. I wish I could remember it. But anyway, yeah. There's so many. Like I was saying, my favorite psychological thing. Yeah. It can make someone totally reset. Feedback loop. That could be it. I thought it started with an O. But yeah, feedback loop for sure. Yeah, you start back at the beginning. It could just be a split second. But a split second of an advantage is better than no seconds of advantage. And I talked to somebody too, said it worked. Like I said, I'm not trying to break out the long sword at all today. And I think we're at 300 there. I did a right-handed set, a left-handed set, a right-handed set. And I actually told somebody what I did. So I love doing this, right? You're out there like a longsword duel. You're fighting, the round's over, you're both so tired, and then I just stand. I don't even stand in my corner. I stand ahead of my corner, and I stand like this, and I stare right at them. And I could be inside my helmet like, but you know, I just look straight ahead. I just act like if I'm breathing real fast, I'm trying not to move. So that way, whenever they're standing there, and then they turn around, and if they glance over at you, they're like, oh my god, this guy's just ready to go. They'll be standing there talking to the corner, they'll be like 10 seconds. The guy like turns around like this, and he looks at you, he's just grabbing his sword, and he's like, oh my god. And I actually worked on somebody. I told someone, oh, Karma, thanks for the share. I fought somebody, you know, and I told him about how I was doing that as a whole psychological thing. He was like, I was dead tired out there. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Nothing's, yeah. With the posturing. Yeah, he was saying how he was so dead tired. I was like, me too. And I was like, you know what actually I was doing is like I would purposely stand there like this, like I was ready to go the whole time. I was like, I was dying inside my helmet. So I just stared at you like this, like I was ready to go. He's like, oh my god, he's like, that worked. I keep thinking that the O sound for that loop was that Tin Man? I keep thinking that loop was like, I keep thinking like Oort loop, like the Oort cloud. It's not the Oort cloud. All right, we are on 300 for that. I could maybe do some left-handed again, but in a little bit. Well, I wish I could win every fight. So I'm actually tied for second in Buckler. I haven't looked for like a month, but as far as I know, I'm still tied in second for Buckler for the Boohurt International, Boohurt League, whatever you call it. It's not Boohurt League. Boohurt League is some ripoff. Boohurt International is the actual league. And the last cage match I fought in, I got knocked out. I won the same round though, which was crazy that I got knocked out in. But I ended up forfeiting because I really got rattled. And the way I won is because even though he like knocked me out, I was still on my feet, but he pressed me into the cage. I was like I was up into the cage like this because that was like 20. We'll say it was 20. It was a little more than that. Anyway, got rocked in the side of the head. I fell back into the cage, but as I like, it kind of caught me, and as he did that, he immediately like pinned me up against it, and it was like punching and kneeing, and I was just up against the cage for like 3 seconds, like I was totally out, and I kind of like came around, and I was thinking like, oh, I'm fighting. I was like, I gotta stay active, or they're gonna notice I'm knocked out, and so I started doing this with my shield, moving my arm, and then I kind of came around. I was like, all right. The other thing too is because I was constantly hitting the guy, so I was ahead in weapon strikes too. Anytime I'm grappling, if I'm not about to throw somebody or in danger of being thrown, I'm always just hitting. But anyway, so I got out of that. He got me up against the cage again, and I was just kind of like buying some time. And as soon as I found like as soon as things were right, you know, I kind of stepped forward and tossed him. Yeah. Oh, I had no clue what was going on. I have a clip of it on my channel, but now I've been uploading all these like sword fighting things. It's way back there. It is like from last October. But yeah, the marshal was kind of coming over and looking, because he was like, I talked to him actually like it was like months later, and I told him I got knocked out. He's like, you know, he's like, I thought something was up. He's like, you weren't moving. I was like, oh yeah, I'm fighting. The reason I'm glad I forfeited though the third round, because I got kind of rocked so bad that I forgot. I won the first round. Second round, I was just kind of out of it. So then we had to go to a third round for a tiebreaker, and I just forfeited. It wasn't for like a medal or nothing crazy, you know what I mean? And it was a cage match, like at our hometown cage matches. And then I took off my helmet. I took off the chest armor, because that was my last fight of the day. I set it down within 30 seconds. I totally lost it, and I was like, I don't even know where I put my stuff. So that's how I know I really got hit kind of hard. And to be unconscious for a little bit while someone's pounding you still with the same shield and sword that they knocked you out with. Yeah. Just set my stuff down, totally forgot. Within 30 seconds. I had no clue where I left it. And it's not, you know, that's very uncommon for me. I might not pay attention to stuff, you know what I mean? And I could set my gauntlets down somewhere throughout the day, be like, where are my gauntlets? You know, but it's not like immediately, where are my gauntlets? If that makes sense. I'm gonna get to chat in 1 second. Whoa, I whiffed that last hit. Wait, I gotta see the. Yeah, at least I got health insurance. Like what I was like always telling people, and Hunter is, I signed the waiver. People will be like, man, I forget. There's been some times where it was an accident happens. You know, the time I got my eye poked, my eye almost poked out. I was like, I signed the waiver, and I got health insurance. Boy, wouldn't that be a story? How'd you lose your eye? Well, I was fighting with swords. Yeah, but then your friends are like, dude, he beat the brakes off you. But then you all get along still in the end, you know? I remember it was my first ever fight, and I actually helped the guy who was going to fight me work on his armor. I was an hour before our fight, and he needed some help with some things, and we worked on his armor. Yeah, right? It was a total accident. Luckily, somehow my brain saw it coming and blinked at the last second, because it just cut my eyelid. But, you know, a blunt sword still could mess you up. Yeah, what eye? I got 20/20 vision still. Just I don't use binoculars anymore. Yeah, it would be a great story. This scar here is from something busting through my chainmail. I had a sword guard bust through my chainmail and cut my face open. That was fun. It was at practice too. Yeah, that little dent there in my face. And it's no joke. Like, if you were here earlier when someone was saying like that this stream was like how not to get a girlfriend 101, but like my whole dating profile is armor stuff. Just saying. Sometimes it's a good thing. Usually it's a bad thing though. Yeah, sword guards are, and you know what they do? Well, oh, Pud again. What's up? So let me show you something. And KG, what up? What up? Here's illegal cross guard, very long. I couldn't use this. What they do is they'll check your cross guard, and I'm still remembering the amount of sets we're on. I did a right-handed, a left-handed, a right-handed, and a right-handed. So it's 400. So say this is my gauntlet I'm fighting in. See, that's a little better, but your cross guard can't stick out more than like a certain amount from a straight line up from your knuckles. You know what I mean? So that way, if you're out there like I'm in a clinch and we're going like this, it'll bottom out on your gauntlets. But yeah, I had somebody like punch me with an arming sword, and it must have had a long cross guard because it busted through my chainmail and split my face open. Sorry. No, what I remember what I determined was it wasn't that the cross guard did, but it pushed my chainmail into my face, because when my chainmail split, it busted a couple of the links, and I think that's what smashed me in my skin and cut it open. So yeah, there is a rule about how long cross guards can be. Oh! Wait, so yeah, that's crazy. Because, yeah, you don't have help. I wasn't thinking about that. You don't have, like, well, does anyone wear... It does. Yeah, maybe it does look the same, huh? I think, well, yeah, it's a little bit longer like this. If that's what you're talking about, the cross guard between that or the gauntlets. Does anyone wear goggles? Or is that something like... Goggles probably ruined the whole theme, right? I got my whole like garb on, and I got these safety glasses. I'm actually trying to see if I can get safety glasses to fit under my helmet. After I got poked in the eye, you know. Oh, right, okay. Yeah. I could. That would be horrible if you got hit in the eye with the. You call it fletching, right? But I know it's part of the area you're talking about. Is that what it's called? Oh, right. Haha, yeah. Oh, man. So as long as I hit 2,700 something, Oh, see, I started talking. I forgot we were on. We'll say we're on. I think we're over 20. It's an estimate sometimes. So we're on 420. That's the number, 420. Where we're at. If I hit 2,700 something a day, I would do it in a year. Yesterday we had like 5,100 hits. At Pensick Thursday, I did 1 hit. Yeah, run a lot. Shields. I just want to make sure, KG, I didn't miss something you were saying. I gotta get this glove off though to flip through chat. We are, we'll say 420. I got this shirt. Hey, just so everybody knows, I Amazoned this shirt for a decent medieval shirt. It's $19.99. You can see where the cracks are in the dummy. The collar keeps going in there. It's actually a decent shirt for $19.99. I like to put the dummy in some cool clothes once in a while. See if this... Ah, good, the glare is kind of gone. Yeah, I think when the sun was coming up, it just looked a little weird. I couldn't read chat as good. So, not this weekend that we're in now. Not next weekend coming up, but the weekend at the end of the month, I have a fight at Dragon Con. And, I'll probably be fighting, like, I don't know, four other people. I don't know who all signed up for what. It's a smaller event, but we're fighting. So I'll be fighting at a, like, I think it's a Dragon Con. I'm not exactly sure. I know there'll be a lot of people cosplaying, and we're like the violent entertainment for the for the convention. So yeah, 2 weeks from today is my next fight. I will be live streaming some of it, I'm sure. Bud, oh, that's awesome. Heck yeah. But before I started doing this, and as you can see, I just did like 10 more, so like 4:30. You know, there's a lot of breaks because when we're chatting and stuff, it's not just like super crazy. I'm not doing like them all in a row, obviously, because we're having some good conversations today. But every 4th day, I used to, in armor, do about 4,800 hits on the dummy with my longsword. So I was thinking, like, I'm already doing like high volume sets. I can tell you for archers, I can tell you SCA archers, you can't actually, you're not allowed to shoot it down. It's so stupid. If a marshal doesn't have safety glasses on, you can't target someone near them. It's so stupid. Like a marshal should have safety glasses or not be out there whenever the archers are out there. But anyway, if it glances off your helmet, if it kind of glances off your shoulder, I know you can call it light and say that didn't count. If I get hit by any arrow, I just call it. The archers are only out there for a couple rounds every couple days. They're not out there all the time in the SCA. So if I get hit by an arrow, even if it just glanced off my helmet, I'd take it. I'd take the hit. You know, an archer drives 12 hours for someone to go, that was light. And the KG, I didn't know if you meant about house. Thanks for hitting that like button. Alright, now this set right here should approximately be 500 that we have not written down on the thing. If I someone that just sits here with a clicker the whole time. Then I could talk. Someone that just sits here with a clicker the whole time. Then I could talk. I wouldn't lose track of everything. I'm fairly certain, though, that was 500. I've been keeping... That's from back before when I did the right-handed set, the left-handed set, the right-handed set. And we've done a couple more since then. So we are at... 1, 2, yeah. We're definitely going to hit the goal of the day. The minimum goal is 2,800 if possible. 3,000. If we hit 3,000, which we should, keeps me just above the average. Oh, well. Yeah, right? Yeah, or no. Some people say light. Oh, yes. You mean RSI? Is that like RSI as in, injuries to your shoulder joints and stuff like that? Thanks for smashing that like button. Tendon. Oh, you know what? Okay, I can tell you this. The very first problem I had with this was see like where my buckler handle sits. I used to punch the crap out of this dummy. I no longer just. If you look probably back at like one of the first couple weeks I was doing this, I was always smash. Now I don't go like so hard because I was getting across my palm. It was very sore, like right in here, and it wasn't like just like the bone or padding in my hand, but I could feel it like in here. And I found like if I recreated it by tapping on something like that, it hurt like a sharp pain. I was like, you know what? I was like, it's from smashing with this shield. So now I don't go full force with the shield. With the handle. Now, if this is strapped on my arm where I didn't have an actual grip there, it'd be a little different. But this is usually the shield I'm using. And I think using something like this, where this dummy is pretty forgiving, right? If you're hitting something harder, like I have a pile of tires back there that I rarely use right now. There's a tree stump that I hit with swords that's a lot more high impact. I think that kind of helps not get the impact. I'm not getting tons of impact shock for my joints from doing this. And I think just because over time, like now, I mean, this is like probably it's over 2 years since I've been doing high rep sets. So I think my body's just used to it. Just making sure you have good body mechanics, you know, like I said, I just come straight down. If I do any kind of twisting stuff, I'm usually coming like where it's in line with like my joint, you know. So I'm either smack, lifting up like this, or sometimes if I change direction, you know what I mean? It's not off angle where I'm, let's see. Can you even be, let's see, if I was going to go like this, compared to, I don't know. I think just making sure you're not doing anything, you're not like, your joints are aligned. I don't know. Honestly, I can't tell you. Maybe it's just repetition. I've been doing this stuff for so long. Oh, hey, yes. Heck yeah. Go win your tournament. Thanks for hanging out. I'm glad we had a good conversation today too. All right. Best of luck. And yeah, if you get a chance, like, let us know how you did in the future. Heck yeah. Oh, yeah, sure thing. I think it's just repetition, you know. Like probably a drummer or something in the beginning is probably like, like my wrists are sore, but after a while I just kind of get used to it. As long as you're not doing anything like crazy, like a heavier shield. I'm sure with a heavier shield, constant motions like this, I'd probably be having to watch out for my shoulder. This thing isn't that heavy. This sword isn't that heavy. My steel sword, like I was saying, I usually I used to use it, but I kind of broke it on here. So I don't use my steel sword, my one-hander sword on here anymore. But I think it's just good body mechanics, and just ease into it. Don't just do like 2,000. You know, work your way up. So you're doing like, I don't know. I used to do 4,800 a set of 48 reps every fourth day. But I had already been doing it for like a long time, and I didn't just do it. I kind of built up to that. Where I would do that much sometimes, but you know, sometimes I'd be like, I'm just gonna do 24 sets of 100 or 120. I was doing as a time limit, is what it was. And then I kind of like I'd be like, man, last week I feel like I didn't do enough, and now I was at the point where I was like hitting it almost 5,000 times in a lot less time than we do there, because I was doing it alone and not talking. That's just what I'm guessing, you know. Good body mechanics. Don't overdo it too quick. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Like a bodybuilder doesn't start using 400 pounds, so you probably wouldn't want to start off doing 4,000 hits. Makes sense. Water. I need to get some. I'm getting water. Oh, there goes the sword. Hang on. We're gonna get some more hits in here. We're getting, time is it? It's almost 10. Let me just get an estimate. We're at 900, 13, 2,000. Yeah, we're gonna get at least a couple more decent high rep sets in here. I was saying we'd stream till 10. We're gonna go a little longer than 10. Let me get this water. I definitely don't want to shortchange myself. I'd like to get 3,000. Oh, not all right, Pud. Hey, heck yeah. I'm not always on in the mornings, but I work 3 days a week, 3 12-hour shifts a week. It's full time. So a lot of times those mornings, I'm on in the mornings after. So I'm sure in the future, you know, there's still like 300 days to go. I'm sure I'll catch you in the morning sometime. And nice, good. Have a good practice. That's great. We have a great chat today. Everybody on Sunday is actually good practice tournaments. Briar was heading to practice. Thank you. Yeah, we'll definitely get 3,000 in for today. As the water got in my eye, which isn't a big deal, it's just water, but you know, that was a shocker. All right. Plugging this in. Making sure we're good. These gloves are now... Thanks for smashing that like button, too, out there, Hunter. Much appreciated. These gloves are now, like, probably 30,000 hits in. They're getting kind of beat. They're discolored and all kind of stuff, but... It was a good investment. 30 bucks. I used to use isotoner gloves. That's another good suggestion. If you're just practicing, have good gloves. You don't want seams. You don't want seams as least amount of seams as possible, because they'll rub and give you blisters. That's what I found out in these last 60 days. Got these for Darkwood Armory for like 35 bucks, I think. They're the lighter set of gloves that they have. See, that's about 40. I bet we're a little bit more than 40. It's just like, you know, they had the padded gloves, but they're a little bit too much. My favorite gloves before these were just isotoner, like leather winter gloves with the fur inside. And the best part about it was that they didn't have seams. The fur lining inside was totally seamless, so I never had anything rubbing. My Hema gloves, for example, will rub on my fingers and I'll get blisters, which is horrible. So I used to actually stream a lot more with my Hema gloves on, but I don't now because of that. Yeah, like I'm saying, I basically just do basic kind of hits. So I think that kind of helps to not get tendonitis and stuff, because I'm just doing like like this. Your arm does this almost naturally every day for something, you know. I'll be having uploading my highlight video from yesterday right after this. I got a subscriber video to upload today. We'll see. I have 3 uploads today. I try not to upload them all right away. So right after this is going to be yesterday's highlight upload. Yeah, I think one of the uploads today is a pensive video. Yeah, it's the longest spear. I think all the spears are basically the same size and same length, but I swear it looked like it was longer. Maybe because it was a red spear, it just looked longer. But this dude was hitting people from like 5 people away with a spear on the bridge battles at Pensick. It was great. A great shot. The thing that sucks is all the Pensick footage is kind of like crappy resolution, because I'm taking highlights from my live streams. Alright, that should be 200. The thing is, I kind of estimated while we're talking. I believe we're over 200. If not, speak now, forever hold your peace. What's up, Sir Death Angel? And Blackfoot, if you're both still there, or either you're there. Yo, we still got a decent crew. We're due for, because I like to do shout outs, because sometimes people just tuned in, never to use the chat. Just acknowledge everybody. Huntinator, Paul, Paul Masoff Karate, what's up? And Chris, thanks for sticking around still with the watch time. Because sometimes people just tune in and hang out, never chat. I just like to at least say, hey, what's up to everybody? Yeah, you know what, Hunter? The Endurance. Yo, what's up? Oh, nice. Chris. Yeah, hey, I was just saying, I know sometimes people just tuned in. I like to, every once in a while, do a random, like, shout-out, because, like, yesterday, Talon was tuned in for, like, hours, you know, and I feel bad, because the TikTok app doesn't show me who's tuned in, you know, unless I click on the thing, so, yeah, just trying to show some love there for everybody just hanging out. Like, I just hope it's entertaining. I'm hitting a dummy, almost doing the same attacks over and over a million times, you know. Definitely, my thing, I would say, here comes the helicopter. I don't know if you can hear it. Knock it down with the arming sword. Yeah, endurance, number 1. Oh, well, thanks. I hope so. Sometimes I think, like, man, like, I sure hope it's entertaining, because I'm just talking about, like, whatever. Halftime we actually talk about, like, more than half times, like, sword-related stuff. So it's probably relevant, you know? While we're hitting a dummy with a sword, talking about sword stuff. But yeah, endurance. I think endurance is more important than skill or experience, in my opinion. You're never going to get the experience without having endurance. Well, you can, but you'll have a better experience with endurance. You don't have to worry about skill as much as endurance. The the most skilled people are always going to be, until, if you're just getting into this, the most skilled people are always going to be so much better than you and me. Not, like, myself included. There's people I will never beat in a longsword duel, for instance. I would never get to fight them in the finals if I didn't have the endurance. The endurance gets me to the finals. My experience doesn't come into play until I get to the finals. The skill to try and match somebody. Like, when I'm talking about experience, I'm talking about like know-how. Like, okay, you know, longsword is about hitting, not worrying about getting hit, attacking, trying to find openings, stuff like that. And when I'm talking about skill, I'm talking more about like so like the very high level players have like for the team stuff are really skilled in grappling. You can get experience. I should say maybe skill and experience is the same thing. Endurance will get you there. You'll never fight the people with skill in duels without the endurance. If that makes sense. So yeah, anything like that helps. Even if you had like a weighted vest or something, it kind of mimics it. You just got to watch with your knees and joints and stuff if you're getting into it. You know, you're adding weight all of a sudden. Now your body's going to be like, oh, perfect example. I got hurt at a Star Wars party. I pulled a groin muscle just jumping. I weighed a lot more. I weighed like 40 pounds more than I do now, and I was just hopping around like this at a longsword. I mean, at a lightsaber duel, and I hopped back, and my groin just like ripped for no reason. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, good age to get into it. I'm 46. So maybe I've been doing this more than 6 years, because I wasn't 40 yet when I started. I've been telling everybody 6 years. I might be on like 7 or 8 since I joined. The first year I didn't have armor, but I still count it because I had a membership. But yeah, exercise is so much more important just to get ready. Yeah, if you did something like a weighted vest, you know. Yeah, and at my age, man, if I pull a muscle or something, it's such a slower recovery process. It took me 6 months till my groin wasn't tight anymore where I ripped it. I'm sure if I was 21 again, it would have been a little different. And the other thing too, you know, like whenever oh my God, 18,000. I was thinking, if I was a little bit younger, I would have actually went like oh, and fallen on my back for a celebration, like I fainted. I was thinking about it. You know the funniest thing? The guy who got me into this in armor, the armored fighting, he said the first thing you do, it was so stupid. I was like, what can I do to get ready? He's like, go home. He's like, and fall down, and then get back up, and then fall down, and get back up. And he's like, do that as many times as you can until you can't do it again. I was like, all right. So I came out in the backyard. Controlled fall. You don't just fall so you get hurt, but so I fell down. I got back up. I was like, all right, did it again. Man, I did that till I was like, gee, I was like, God, I don't even know what this is helping me with, but it actually got hard after a while. And sometimes when I'm in armor, I practice falling down and getting up, because now in a team fighting, once you're down, you're out. When you're fighting in duels, in the MMA stuff, like, you need to get up, but unless they jump on top of you right away. You know what I mean? So it's like being able to do a bunch of rounds on here and then fall and get up, like your whole body will be burning. It's crazy. The dogs are arguing. I'm just gonna stand on the dummy to see what's going on back here. Sounds like all the dogs in the neighborhood are out having a good time. To continue, what time is it? Oh, all right, a little bit after 10. We're still streaming. Yeah, it is. And you know what? Sometime we could set something up. We should have like a day. We used to have a day in the park where like new people would come up. The thing is, we're all so busy. Like I have 4 tournaments coming up. My 2 teammates, who are both world medal winning at the international level, win medals in the MMA stuff and things like that, and the melee, the team fights. So, like, we have a lot of knowledge out here for sure. Pittsburgh has like award winners. You know, just so you can see what the stuff's like. You might even fit in my yellow and black armor. A lot of people fit in my yellow and black armor. Actually, we've had people fight in my yellow and black armor in some of the team tournaments we do. All right, I'm stopping right there for a second. It's a random number. I think we're at 354. I believe we were. I'm gonna write that down. We're gonna get an estimate to see where we're at. Just since it's after 10, I want to make sure we hit. I want to try and hit 3,000. Let's see. Trying to be good at math after I've been awake. I'm still up from night shift. Yeah, it's based on Mongolian. It's a Mongolian theme. That's right. It's sport optimized. So here's the thing. Why I can't wear it in Boo Herd International events because it doesn't pass the authenticity thing. So there's a cave. The shoulders come from it's based off this armor that was found in this cave, like the tuba. It's a tuba, something like that. Man, it's been too long since I remembered. I gotta look it up again. So when we talk about it, I don't sound like an idiot, like I forget where my armor's from. There's a cave discovery, this Mongolian armor, and it's based off that. But some of the things, like the plates are a lot bigger, so it's not historically accurate. And the skirt, instead of being metal, it's just built into the brig, so that's not historical either. So they say it doesn't count. Well, thank you. That is actually like my trademark armor. Everybody knew me by that for years, before the sport got so popular. Yeah, see, so since I'm used to working at night, 10 a.m. to me is like 10 p.m. So to me, it's like staying up till 10 p.m. So if we're off here by like 10:30, then it's like, and I go to bed at 11 a.m., it's like going to bed at 11 p.m. for daylight people. All right. So let's see. 9, 1250. We'll say 13, 16, 2000. Oh, we're past goal. So this is all bonus. While we're talking still. Let me get my water. Trying to stay hydrated. That's what's great about like grass or something. Got my mouth. Hang on. Anyway, that's what's great about like streaming on here. Have some good conversations. We hit goal. Everything after this is just extra. I'm trying to catch up. I'm actually behind by a bunch of days. I need to pick it up. So as long as we're doing like 3,000 or more, I'll slowly get up there again, you know. I had a bunch of days off. So this is not day 62 of me hitting this. It's day 62. I count every day. So if I didn't hit this thing tomorrow for day 63, and I did it the next day, I just write the day. It'd be day 64. So it's going by. It's not how many days I've hit this, but how many days since we started. And I've had days off. Like we had 5 days in New Jersey, and I was so far ahead that it didn't even phase the average really. I was doing like 5,000 hits a day, 6,000 back then. Yo, oh, Feather. Ah, man. See? That's we're streaming. It's all bonus time. 10 to 10:30. We got a bonus half hour. Feather fall. This cheers. This hydration is for you. See, I picked up the cup for hydration time. Oh, Feather might not be here though. Could have just tuned in, and you know how I'm saying. Sometimes people tune in and he turn on TikTok and he just puts me in my live stream because we hang out and talk and stuff. But Featherfall, really awesome. I had finally caught one of Feather's live streams, and it was an entertaining live stream, witty, good conversation there too. All right, the next. So we're over goal. Let me see if I can think of something to talk about. Unless you have something like you want to talk about. But if I can think something off the top of my head related to this stuff. Oh, yeah. I remember, I was going to say this before. The biggest thing in this sport is you have to have a pain tolerance. And I don't mean it hurts forever, but you have to be able to tolerate a very sharp pain that happens all of a sudden but goes away. So to explain, if you get hit really hard, say with a two-handed axe, and injuries can happen, just so you know, injuries are a lot more rare than you'd think because we hit people with axes and swords, and I'm estimating we're on like 30. I'm probably more than that. So I've got hit so hard sometimes that my body just says, I'm done, and I fall to the ground. In the melee stuff, the team stuff. The duels are about as tame as anything you can do. If you want to do one-on-one duels for weapon strikes only for points, you will probably never get hurt in this, almost never in your life. If you wanted to get into the MMA stuff, much higher chance of getting hurt because there's ground fighting. You can have somebody on the ground and stand above them, and you can hit them like this. You can jump on them. You can jump on them with both knees into their chest. There's almost no rules. You can't stomp on somebody or kick them in the head. But you can, by all means, knock someone on the ground and just be hitting them from above, right? Obviously, you have more chance to get injured there. The things that hurt, and Clyde, hey, thanks for hitting that like button, Clyde, for getting the red badge for hitting the like. So yeah, so you have to think, the most tame stuff. I'm telling you, when I'm in my 60s, I hope I'm still doing this, at least for duels, one-on-one duels. But you have to think what you want to do. And then there's the team stuff where it's like 3-on-3, 5-on-5. You know, they do 12s. Now there's so many people in this sport, we're doing more like 12-on-12s. So, yo, Ethan. Hey, thanks, Ethan. Thanks for hitting the like and getting the red badge for hitting the like. Ethan, also, we were talking about Ohio and stuff, and like, you know, we're all kind of like this region of the USA. In chat earlier. So you gotta think the pain tolerance, duels not so much. Probably your hands. You know what gets hurt in duels? Fingers. You might get a broken finger one day. I'm lucky I don't have one yet. The high pain tolerance though is in the team fights because you'll get hit when you're not looking because you'll just be like out fighting a bunch of people, especially when you're newer. You might not have that field awareness. You come up to somebody, hit them, stop. I mean, say they're being held. Say someone's holding this person. Your teammate's holding this person. You run up. You see they're over there. You want to hit them. You come up. Look around. Make sure no one was following you, because what will happen is they'll sit here like, and someone is coming right behind you and cross-checks you in the back of the head, and then you're just out. You know what I mean? Things like that happen in the beginning. Get some tunnel vision, like, yeah, I'm hitting this guy, and then their teammate come over and whack you. So, getting hit when you don't see it can really hurt. I've had some times where I've been put down by people with an axe, just like an axe shot to the side. It's like just this super sharp. You get hit so quick, And your whole body goes, yeah! And you just fall on the ground because it hurts so much. But by the time like you're on the ground, you're like, it's over. Like, I'm gonna fight the next round. You know what I mean? It's like these really sharp instances of pain that you have to be able to deal with. Yeah, I think duels are my favorite. What's up, Cam? Duels are. I've honestly, I've since I got knocked out that last time, I haven't really done much of the MMA stuff. I'm waiting until our next events. I've taken the whole year off. October. Oh yeah, in Pittsburgh we have cage fights. We should be doing it again this year, up at the waterfront in Pittsburgh. So yeah, I'm waiting till then to make my debut again. But I got rocked so hard that I just took some time off. I was like, I don't need to be knocked out like that. I'm not good enough to be like the gold medalist in the MMA stuff. So I did a couple ranked MMA fights this year. So I have fought since the time I got knocked out. I'm not, yeah. So yeah, I have fought since then, but nothing too crazy. I didn't focus on it. I focused on duels this year. I've only done the team stuff, like, I've only fought in 3 melees this year. With melee is team stuff. Let me get to chat in 1 second. I believe I'm about to hit about 100 on this bonus set. The bonus time. I'm just making sure we at least got 100, which should be about now. When I'm talking to chat, it's an estimation. So I think, let me, so I don't forget, I'm going to talk to the teams up in Beaver and stuff and see what they have going on. Because they have, like, we even just, like, practice in armor, you know what I mean? And it's a little bit, even a little bit of a drive for me, too, you know? But it's a little bit north of Pittsburgh. Let me see if I find out what's going on, and I'll let you know. Even for like a practice, where it's a decent practice, where it's like a couple hours, so you're not driving up forever just to see something and go home. And usually, you know, we have extra armor and stuff, so it's not like play it. You know what the best thing was? And on my YouTube, I even have like uploads of it where new people would come and we put them in my armor, and you go through rounds. We don't hit back. As long as it fits well, you're good. You gotta watch, because that's how you can get shoulder injuries and stuff, because the armor doesn't fit well. But make sure it fits. You know, beat on one of us in armor for a little bit, and then if you want, you know, take a couple hits, see what it's like. So when I first got into this, it took me a while to even find out how to get into it, because back then it wasn't popular at all. And I had to do a lot of detective work to figure out how to get into this sport in Pittsburgh, until I just had my own team, and I was the only one trying to get people to join it. So anyway, the first time I went to an event, you know, I was like, how do I get into this? The guy put me in touch with the guy in Pittsburgh. He's like, talk to him. Well, he never got back to me. I tried to send him emails. I tried to get a hold of him on Facebook. The guy never responded. He doesn't use Facebook or things like that too much. I write back to the owner of the league at the time. There's only one league. I'm like, hey, I never got a hold of him. What should I do? He's like, well, there's an event in Philadelphia. He's like, if you want to drive out there, go check it out and talk to this other guy who's like your regional commander, is what it was called back then. I was like, all right. I found that guy. I met up with him. He's like, well, I'll try and get a hold of him too. If I can't, you know, we'll figure something out. I'm like, cool. So while I'm there, I watched the whole fight. It was like a 3-hour event, and at the end, this guy's like, well, he's like, do you want to see if you really, do you want to see what it's like to see if you even want to do it? Because, you know, I was like, I've never really done combat sports. So he's like, all right. He's like, try my armor on, and we'll take a couple hits. I was like, heck yeah. I put his armor on. He's like, it's sweaty. I was like, I don't care. His armor fit. I put his armor on, put the helmet on. He's like, all right. He's like, I'm going to punch you in the face. Like, just light. So he's like, with his steel gauntlet. I was like, all right, that's cool. He's like, all right, I'm going to go a little harder. this is a big dude too. Then he's like a decent punch. I was like, all right. He's like, okay. He's like, ready? He's like, I'll hit you as hard as I can, like in the face. I'm like, go for it. And he was like boom, like as hard as he could. And he is a really heavy helmet and distributes weight really good. I was like, I love it. I was like, I survived. Get my armor. My teammate Daniel, I got everything on, and he's like, all right. He's like, you want it? First day I had put my armor on. I was like, let's test it out. He's like, all right. He's like, how about I punch you in the face? I was like, sure. He hit me so hard, I think I got a concussion on my first freaking time. I got punched in the face by him because everything went gray, which isn't good. However, I didn't fall over or nothing. I was like, all right, I need a second after that, recuperate. So then he was like, okay. He's like, let me hit you with the sword a couple times. I'm like, cool. So he lines up right here. He's like, I'm like, all right, that's all right. He's like, all right. He's like, I'm gonna hit you harder. Puts everything into it, you know. That kind of hurt. I was like, it stung. I'm cool with it. I can deal with that. He's like, all right, now lift up your arms. And this is where my armor overlaps. So the plates have, all the buckles are here. So it doesn't distribute the force because you're not hitting a plate in the center. You're hitting overlapping plates. Same thing. He's like, I was like, yeah, that hurt a little more. Boom. Hurt so bad. Didn't take a knee. But if he would have done it again, I would have. So I'm saying, like, some of these hits, it's good to just get some armor on and take a couple hits. You see what it's like. You work your way up to it. Just like you were saying, a bodybuilder doesn't lift 400 pounds right away. You take some hits and some loner gear and see what it's like. Because sometimes it freaking hurts and it stings. Like, no joke. Just so you know. Duels, not so much. You're never going to have a duel where someone's just totally like teeing off on you like this. Because it just doesn't happen that way. You obviously can get hit very hard over and over in duels, but they're not sitting there like just winding up and you're not just letting them hit you like this. Bam, as hard as they can. So duels are the most, one-on-one duels, the most tame thing out there. Yeah, oh, and then I forgot, and he also hit me in the back one time. You know, I was like, ah! But, yeah, I didn't go down, but I can tell you, those are just sword hits. So if you can imagine getting hit with an axe. But I've never had anything that kept me from fighting other than pulling a muscle once. So you know what I mean? It's like, it's a pain compliance thing. Your body sometimes will just get hit so hard that you just fall on the ground. It happens. I've had someone put an axe through my arm, through my arm armor one time. And, you know, I didn't break anything. It punctured my armor. I have a pretty thick gambeson, the padded layer underneath, luckily. Alright, that should be 200. Where are we at? Oh, we got like 7 minutes left. 200. We're just gonna keep hitting this and talking. So yeah, just so you know, it's good to just try it on, get hit a couple times. Nothing crazy, nothing that makes you feel uncomfortable. Like I was saying, half the time what we do is put someone in my armor, and then we'll even have maybe not even a sword in return, just so like, just see what it's like. It can be freaking grueling to go 3 1-minute rounds with a 1-minute break in the middle of just swinging a sword with a shield, and not even to go that crazy because you don't want to hurt your shoulders with all this new weight and swinging a shield around, you know what I mean? But just have somebody be able to put armor on and hit us too, so it's not just you getting hit. Take a couple whacks with a sword or something, you know, just to see what it's like. Because I can sit out here, even when I have my armor on, and hit this dummy like over and over. And then you go out there to do it, it's like a whole different story. Like, man, it's so intense. Yeah, for sure. Did you say, I kind of forget because it's been a while. Did you say you're like 2 hours from Pittsburgh? All right. I will try and find a time when there's actually something worthwhile going on, where it's not just people showing up to like do grappling practice, but something like in armor or an event. I'll talk to my buddy Mark, who's like kind of out your way. I feel so bad. So he had an event. Is it 10:30? The church bells went off early. So my friend Mark. Do you ever hear of Mannheim, PA? There's actually an event out there, maybe in October, just so you know, too. I don't know, because the people that run it are actually fighting in Boo Herd International events. I don't know. I'll talk to somebody. My friend out there who has a team. But the thing is, like, I felt bad because he's only down to himself now. And last summer, he had a medieval event, right? It was at their fair, and he had a booth set up. And it's so hard to get people to come to events sometimes, you know? And I was the only one that showed up out of like 8 people that were possible. So me and him just fought all day long. Just me and him. I thought I was going to die. He thought he was going to die from like exhaustion. So it was still fun, just 2 of us, and we demonstrate different weapons. Like we did a longsword fight. We had a pro fight, you know, with I think I was using a sword and buckler. He's using a mace and a buckler. Like stuff like that, you know. Like he's kind of out your way. I will see if he's still looking, like, you know, for if he has armor and stuff. You know what I mean? Because I'd be closer than coming all out here. Yeah, with the traffic, it sucks. But, you know, we'll try and find something going on. Or even oh, it's not till later in the year, but I'll be driving out past that way for an event. You know, I could even like stop by or something somewhere close, and if it was the day before, day after, if I'm off work, I'd have all my armor and stuff with me. You know what I mean? Yo, Jazz, what's up, Jazz? I know, right? My cosplay right now is just like, kind of like retro. Whoa, Jazz! All right, this is my cosplay. Jazz, whoa, all right. Hey, thank you for that. We're gonna get you a good set for the donation there. Let's set this up in a good strategic spot so the dummy doesn't get off the screen. What's up, Jazz? There was, now that you mention it, I remember seeing a meme of something where someone is dressed up as a knight, because they're like, who's the Boo Herd guy out in the protest? Is over in Europe somewhere with Boo Herd armor. Oh yeah, that's cool. But still, I have a thing, you know, for dropping donation. I always got to do a set, and plus, just even for a penny, you get in the highlight video for the special thanks section in the credits. All right, here we go. I think we were at 300, but I know we're at least 200. So this will just clear up the discrepancy after 100 hits here with my cosplay, the retro cosplay, which is basically like a joke. We'll be at 300. All right, here we go. on that one. I better not count that hit. And that one. Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, right? Like, for a lightning bolt, pick things up a little bit. As always, thank you for that. The 10:30 bell just went off. I was saying I'm streaming till 10:30, but since you just showed up, hang out for a couple more minutes. Whew. You know what? For those lightning bolts, got me in the mood. We're going to do that again for that donation. Charge it. Yep. Maybe that wasn't a whiff. That was some magic. It was a. It sends a shockwave forward from the shield. Whew. All right. Haha. A knee to the head. Get on the screen, Bob. A little bit more than 100, I believe. Oh, was it? Yeah. You're right. You're right. It was. There's that magic. Oh, let's see. Sounds like another 400. Oh, ha. Well, I am 46, but like, not saying this is anything crazy. I don't watch TV. I'm never like sitting around. I work on my feet all day. I don't know. Oh, all right, cool. So yeah, 46. Yeah. I fight people. I'm always fighting people like 20 years younger than me. Cool. All right. So yeah, we gonna hang out a little bit then. That was a good set there for them lightning bolts. So that was like a good estimate. 400. We're over the goal of the daily average. So that's good. Let me grab this water here. Thanks for hitting that like button behind my back. Yeah. I gotcha. Like, actually, when I'm at work, a lot of times I have some of my friends on here too. Live streams will be on, and I have it on like on the earbuds. Listen to it because they have a good active conversation. Oh, Devin again. Devin, hey. Now we're on extra bonus time. We finished up talking about that whole. Hey, all right, Devin, how are you doing today? Good to see you. Welcome back. Yeah, good. We have extra bonus time. I was gonna end streaming about half hour ago. Now that everybody's here, it always happens when I'm about to get off. Is it a time zone thing? How early is it, or what time is it where y'all are at? Oh yeah, okay. Let's hear him scream and drown out with the farts. Delaware. Okay, so we're like same time. Oh, we're all like the same time zone. Well, yeah, I figured Hunter, we're about the same. But yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. I was just about to get off the live, but I guess not. We'll go a little bit more. A couple more hits towards 1 million. We'll get us there. I gotta get this out of the sun. Maybe it'll be a better. Ah, yes, a better picture there. California. Oh, really early in the day for you then, kinda. I just worked a 12-hour shift. See what I'm saying? I'm up to like 11 p.m. If it's 11 a.m. I'm going back to work tonight, so that's why I definitely got to be off here in a little bit. I'd like to be in bed by 11. I'll have enough time to wash up, and I have so many shirts, Devin, because you dress nice. Yeah, see, I knew you had like you have a very nice profile picture there. And I have some nicer attire that I never wear anymore. And I was like, I should just wear it to live stream in. Like, this is a nice shirt I used to wear a lot of times. I don't wear it anymore because I just have too many shirts. My mom's like, we got to get you some shirts for your birthday. No, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, for real. And she'll buy me some nice shirts. And before I know it, I have a closet full of shirts. So I was like, let's live stream a couple of them, right? Yeah, rest is half the battle. And so I live a mile from work. So I have like no commute. So that's like 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 hours. I'll be good for tonight. Like I was saying, tomorrow. Live stream tomorrow is going to be later in the day. I was saying earlier, I should have a date tomorrow. If I don't, which I will not know till later today. If I don't, then I will be in armor. If I do have a date, I will be in clothes. I don't want to deal with putting on armor and swinging a sword around in armor, and then have to take it off, and then I have to oil it and shine it up so it doesn't get rusty, the hinges and all the stuff like that. So we'll see. Tomorrow's gonna be a toss-up, maybe an armor workout, but it'll be later in the day, like after I wake up. Oh, and just so if anybody knows or doesn't know, the very last broadcast of 1 million, and I'll find something to do after it. But the last 1 million hits on the Pell day, I'm gonna hit the dummy, and we'll be poking too with sharp swords. I did a test on it for the 100,000th hit. I actually took my very sharp halberd and I poked it, and it sliced right through the dummy's belly button. Yeah, it might not last very long, but we will do it. That's why all the, every little penny like that, I say just goes towards the next dummy. I could buy a dummy by the end either way, but you know what I'm saying. That's what it goes for. To offset the, what I might do, I might take one whack at this with the halberd. It might slice right through the head of the dummy. And you know what would happen? TikTok would probably make it a restricted stream because I'm using sharp swords. But anyway, that's the plan. If I was smart, I'd buy it now because I have a coupon for 20% off, like an entire purchase at Dick's Sporting Goods. So. But I'll wait till the actual end. Because who knows, if something happens, if I get hurt, and I can't finish 1 million live, I don't see anything happening. We're already this far into it. We're at 16% after today. We're at 16% of a million. Thank you for hitting that like button. So, we'll have to see how it goes. Oh, Hunter, all right. Hey, yeah, Hunter, thanks for hanging out in the conversation. Yeah, we'll keep in touch. I'll find something going on, or we'll figure something out. Yeah, we'll go for like another 6 minutes till 10:45. Oop, I lost track. We were probably over 80. See, sometimes I'll be like, it's not just talking. It'll be like, you're leaving. I was like, oh. Maybe, like I was saying, at the end, I'm sure it'll be around 1 million. We'll have a couple live streams left over, just do another like 10,000. So in case I ever shortchange some of these sets, sometimes I do a set and I just forget to write it down too. You know what I mean? All right, so that should be about 100. While we're a chatting estimate. Yeah, so, and anyone, Devin, like, I hope you're having some good weather out there. We were just talking about, with not on chat, but how it is always raining out here. Not always, but the amount of sunny days we get is like very low. I've not had an indoor workout for weeks where I'll take this dummy inside because it's raining out, which is kind of crazy. So it's getting a little windy out here, and someone's already grilling something at 10:30 in the morning. Someone's fired up the grill. I can smell it. But where? The wind's coming downhill from the neighborhood up there. They must be living life really well on this Sunday. I totally forgot. I have a couple steaks thawing out. I bought, so I don't know if you ever get these out where any of y'all live. They'll have the people that go door to door. It's not door to door. It's a service you sign up for, and they bring the boxes of steaks and things. Sometimes they have some left over, and they'll come sell it. What up, redneck? They'll sell it to you for like half off or something. And you know what? Like, they had this deal I could not pass up. They saw I was on the porch. The freezer, it's a van with a freezer, pulls over like, hey, we got all these steaks. And they were selling them half off. And I did the math. It was so much cheaper than buying them in the store. They're frozen, you know what I mean? But I was like, all right, whatever. So I bought them. So every like week or so, I grab a couple out of there. I don't know how long a steak should last in the freezer because I almost never eat frozen meat that you re-thaw. But anyway, I got 2 in the fridge, 1 for today, 1 for tomorrow. I wake up early enough before work. It's steak time. Just looking at the time. Plus, I need to get the armor on and do longsword workout in it. I might get in the armor tomorrow either way, because I'm getting down to the last 2 weeks before my next fight. I'm fighting longsword, and I have to have the endurance. I might just get in armor tomorrow, no matter what. But it'll be later in the day. That's what kind of sucks, because not everybody who's here in the morning is here in the afternoons. Sometimes I'll be on at like 10 p.m. at night. So. And I never really have a set schedule. But it's nice because, you know, we run into everybody like in the mornings sometimes, you know, it'd be like a week or two. Have a good conversation with everybody. Then I'll be back on the morning again sometime, catch up with everybody again. It's like different shifts. Working a shift with your friends. Different shifts. Sometimes there's a couple times I live streamed at like 2 in the morning because I was staying awake for work the next day, like practice. All right, it is about 10:45. This is the last set. It's all staying in track in my head. We're gonna get the last, whatever this ends up being. We're gonna write on the board. We'll see where we're at for today. An estimate. I don't think we hit 160,000, but we're gonna be really close. What would it look like? Let me unplug this. What would it look like a first-person view? I can't do it. I can't get my arms around it. I don't want to bust my camera, my phone. I call it a camera now. It's a phone. I read this article how people these days just treat phones like these really expensive $1,000 phones, like with no regard for them, because it's like they use it as a camera. You know, it's not a camera; it's a phone. Actually, I use this for streaming and stuff more than I ever do to call anybody or text anybody anymore. Still going. Whew. Extended set. Alright, we're on the last leg. Almost live stream's ending soon. I will not just shut off. I will say bye to everybody. So don't go anywhere yet. Last little bit. I think that's as much as I can do in that set. Well, I'm going to get to bed. Let's do a little shout out for everybody who's still here real quick. Oh, and Yeet Cannon, who is probably gone by now. Oh, so Paul's still here. Paul Masoff Karate. So thanks for putting in the watch time. And Devin and Jazz, much appreciated. Thanks, Jazz, for the gifts. Oh, I better write that set down before I forget. And I'm not going to have a total right now. The total, updated total and highlight video from this will be uploaded on Monday. because I'm behind in videos. So there we go. Hey, yo, you're all good. That's why I try to keep talking, because I know you're listening. Sometimes I'm hitting this dummy like 80 times, and I'm like, oh God, I gotta think of something. I try to multitask, count, hit, so you're not just listening to this all the time. Yeah, that's true. Yep. 46, but we could say 45. Technically not single. We're gonna find out though tonight. Yeah, do it. Yeah, if you like, sure. So long story short, okay, I'll just tell you. So I ran to my ex, right? Went out. I was, for days, everything was great. Like, hey, we're getting back together. Because we were really a great couple. I don't know why. Sometimes she just gets busy and I don't hear from her for days. We have plans tomorrow night. I'm not sweating it. But now that it's the day before, I haven't heard back. I'm going to like double text her back and say, hey, don't forget tomorrow. You know, if you don't want to go out, if you don't reply, then I get the hint. But, you know, we had such a great time out. I don't know what happened. So, we'll see. We'll see tonight. But, yeah, tag me if you want. Yeah, that's true. Hey, that's all good. If I'll let you know. Yeah, go for it if you like. Because I haven't heard from her. It's the day before. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, so, yeah, you can tag me in that stuff. I will be awake again later tonight. In about 6 hours, I'll probably start editing this video, the highlight video. How it'll be tomorrow. Tomorrow when I get up, probably in armor. We will see how that goes. But it'll be later in the day. Yeah, so oh, for sure. So yeah, so for one, thanks for coming by. Devin, are you? Yeah. Oh, someone else just tuned in. Oh, they left already. Right? It says there's 4. Devin, Paul, Jazz, thanks for coming by. I don't know what the heck the math is to add this up, but I don't think we hit 160,000. If we did, great. If not, we're freaking close to 16% of a million. We will catch you all in another one. Thanks for tuning in, putting in the watch time, hanging out, talking. Hope you all have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you soon, everybody.